Hello, everyone. It is I, the Fable of Fables, your new best friend. I actually kind of like the Elder Scrolls lore. I've been kind of wanting to get back into it. I don't think you guys really much care for it, and that's completely fine. I want to try something different because if I do too much Gundam, I know I'm gonna go crazy. Besides, I need to also record some stuff for Transformers because I still got a couple requests I need to go through. Sorry it's taking me so long with that, but yeah, let's go.
Hello dude. Today a video on the Khajiit creation myth in the wake of the ES.
The thing about me, and those of you that don't know, love building worlds. And the more I learn about world building or like the creation myth of certain species, the more it gives me inspiration to work on my own world. Sadly, I have two worlds right now. Technically, there's Aria, which is my D&D world. Aria is what I call it. It's a D&D world. The other one is the Toy Box. The Toy Box is kind of connected to my Discord server. Anyone's interested in that, I'll explain more on that, but I don't know if you guys will. So yeah, let's go.
So Elsewhere DLC. And we will see what we already know before that DLC. Now, today, once again, I got help by my good friend Mr. Nerddragon from the Discord, who knows a hell of a lot more about these subjects about the Khajiit than I do, so I'm very grateful for his help. Due to my pronunciation issues, he was even gracious enough to record some Khajiiti pronunciation for me for the use of this video. So if you just hear another voice than mine in this video, then that's him telling me that I suck at pronouncing Khajiiti names. With that said, nothing stopping us from talking about the Khajiit creation myths, or at least what we know of it now, so let's kick off with this video.
Let's go. I just want to say, I think it's kind of funny because in my D&D world, and well, it's kind of just D&D naming senses, since Tabaxi have such a unique naming sense. Basically, I used to have two characters. Well, I had one character. Her literal name is Honey of Bees. I miss her. She was great. I should really redraw her.
Now, before we begin with the creation myths, I can already tell you that it's important to remember that most Khajiit deities are variations of imperial/elven deities, although the Khajiit themselves will always claim that they are entirely different deities from those deities that we know. Whether this is the case is debatable, or whether the creation myth itself even checks out at all with the reality. It probably won't. But today
It's actually kind of funny because the reason he says that, because if you look at Roman and Greek mythology, they're essentially literally the same gods, just in different names, such as like a pot like such as Hercules and Heracles are literally the same thing. It's just how you pronounce their names. Just like the Roman gods of Mars, things like that. It's kind of simple like that. I do like the fact that it's rooted in some real life. I'm not 100% accurate on it, so don't start flaming me in the comments just yet.
we will cover what the Khajiit believe. So according to the Khajiit, in the beginning of everything, there was but two entities known as the Littermaids, Anur and Fedome. Fedome said to Anur, "Let us wed and make children to share our happiness." And so from their bond, Alkosh, the first cat, was born. They made him the guardian of time, saying,
Holy moly.
"Alkosh, we give you time for what is as fast or as slow as a cat." They gave birth then to Knarthi, the winds.
Kenarthi, to you we give the sky, for what can fly higher than the wind?
They gave birth to
That's
Magnus,
such a pretty
the cat's
one.
eye. Magnus, to you we give the sun, for what is brighter than the eye of a cat. They gave birth to Mara, the mother cat. Mara, you are love, for what is more loving than a mother? They gave birth to
I
Srendar,
like the fact that he gives sources of where he finds them, but these are so beautiful.
the runt. Srendar, we give you mercy, for how does a runt survive except by mercy?
It's true.
And then, from many phases, Anur and Fedome were happy. Anur then said, "We should have more children to share our happiness." Fedome agreed. Then they had Hamora. Hamora, you are the tides, for who can say whether the moons predict the tides or the tides predict the moons? They
It's
had
Mayas
Hircine.
Mora?
Hircine, you are the hungry cat, for what hunts better than a cat with an empty belly? They had Maruz.
Meruns, you are the Khajiit, for what is more destructive than a kitten?
They had Mafala. Mafala, you are the clan mother, for what is more secretive than the ways of the clan mothers? They had Senjin. Senjin, you are the blood cat, for who can control the urges of blood? And they had Shagarath. Shagarath, are you the skooma cat, for what is crazier than a cat on skooma?
Shigara.
And then
Oh, they're literally just naming the. Are they literally just naming the using the names of the what do you call it? The the Daedra.
Nur said, 2 litters is enough, for too many children will steal our happiness. But then, one day, Canarthi approached Fenome and said, Fenome, mother, Canarthi grows so lonely high above the world where not even my brother Alkos can fly. Fenome, hearing this, then took pity on her and tricked Anur to have even more children, probably knowing that he wouldn't be happy. And Fenome gave birth to the moons and their motions, and then later she gave birth to Narini, the spirit of the majestic sands and the lush forests. Later on, she had Azura, the spirit of dusk and dawn. From the beginning, Narini and Azura would fight over for their mother's favor.
Yeah, this is literally just a Daedra to the Aedra slash Daedra. That's interesting.
But Anur caught Fenome while she was still birthing and got very, very angry. He then attacked Fenome, making her flee too far away in the great darkness to give birth to the last of her litter. Fenome's children all heard what had happened and they all came to protect her from Anur's great anger, to prevent him from hurting Fenome even more. The last child of Fenome was born, and it was called Lorkaj. When he was born, his heart was filled with the great darkness which took shape and realized its name, Namira. Fenome, wounded by Anur's strike, realized that her time was near, and she spoke to the moon, saying,
Jakajay, to you Fadomai gives the lattice, for what is steadier than the phases of the moons? Your eternal motions will protect us from Anur's anger.
The moons then took their places on the heavens. Anur, furious, tried to shoot the great darkness, but he could not cross the lattice.
My goodness.
Then Fenome turned her attention to Narini, saying, Narini, to you Fenome leaves her greatest gift. You will birth to many people, as Fenome gave birth today. Narini then left, but noticing that her rival Azura had nothing, she smiled victoriously. After that, all of Fenome's children left, except for the loyal and caring Azura. Fenome said to her, to you, my favorite daughter, Fenome leaves her greatest gift. To you, Fenome leaves her secrets. And she told Azura, when Narini is filled with her children, take one of them and change them. Make them the fastest, cleverest and most beautiful people and call them the Khajiit. The Khajiit must be the best climbers, for if Messer and Secunda fail, they must climb Canarthi's breath to set the moons back in their courses. The Khajiit must be the best deceivers, for they must always hide their nature from the children of Anur. The Khajiit must be the best survivors, for Narini will be jealous, and she will make the sands harsh and the forest unforgiving. And the Khajiit will always be hungry, and at war with Narini. With these words, Fenome died in her daughter's arms. After many phases, Narini spoke to Lorkaj. Lorkaj, Fenome told me to give birth to many children, but there is no place to them. Lorkaj then said, Lorkaj makes a place for the children, and Lorkaj puts you there so you can give birth. But Lorkaj's heart was filled with the great darkness, and he tricked his siblings so that they were forced into this new place with Narini. Many of them escaped though, and became the stars. But also many of them died, trying to make Narini's path stable. The survivors, filled with rage for being tricked, punished Lorkaj, tearing off his heart and hiding it deep within Narini, saying, we curse you, noisy Lorkaj, to walk Narini for many phases. This curse is actually related to the speculated Shazarian curse, and with the whole story of the avatars of Shor, which I'm not an expert on. Narini, though, forgave Lorkaj, for he was the one who provided her with a place to give birth and have children. Narini then filled herself with children, but cried when she realized that all her favorite children, the forest people, did not know their shape, and they were in a permanent state of chaos, confusion and sadness. Azura, ignoring their bitter rivalry, took pity on Narini and said to her,
Poor Nirni, stop your tears. Azura makes for you a gift of a new people.
When Narini stopped weeping, Azura headed to her, but first she would have to pass through the moons, which guarded Narini and her world. Azura then told them the first secret of Vanome, and they let her through. Azura then took some of the forest people who were torn between man and beast and placed them on the best deserts and forests of Narini. In her wisdom, Azura made them of many shapes, being one for every purpose. When they were done, Azura named them Khajiit and told them the second secret of Vanome, also teaching them the value of secrets, and she then bound the Khajiit to the lunar lattice, as is proper for Narini's secret defenders. Then Azura spoke the third secret of Vanome, and the moon shone down on the marshes and their light became sugar. But unfortunately, the deity Ifrem had heard the first secret of Vanome and snuck behind Azura when she entered Narini. Iver didn't appreciate secrets and he told Narini all about Azura's trick. Enraged, Narini made the deserts hot and the sands biting, and made the forests wet and filled with poisons in appreciation for Iver's service.
Oh my lord.
She also let him change the forest people, now different from the Khajiit. But Iver didn't have the subtle wisdom that Azura had, making them remaining forest people, never changing elves, forbidding them to have the shape of beasts, and he named them the Bosmer, and bound them to the Green Pact. Since they were not anymore in the same litter as the Khajiit, it made them bitter enemies to the Khajiit. And because Iver had no appreciation for secrets, he shouted the first secret of Vanome across the heavens with all the might of his lungs, to make it possible for all of Vanome's children to cross the lattice. But Azura was quick and clever, and only closed the ears of angry Anur and noisy Lorkash, so they were the only ones not to hear it. The Khajiiti myths explain not only their origin and the origin of the world, but also their link to the moons, and their animosity toward the Bosmer,
Oh yeah.
and many other aspects of their culture. Many imperial scholars point to some contradictions in these myths, and I must agree when I read it all, theorizing that the Khajiit are in fact descendants of a race of great cats in the desert region of Nerd, backing this claim with fragments of letters written by Topol the pilot. But even this evidence can be debated, since in the same era which Topol lived, Penelmol Whitestrake slew many thousands of Khajiit during the Elven pogroms, under the impression that they were another strain of Altmerry elves, so much
Yeah, frickin' Palador White Strike. Good lord.
alike that they looked. There are other reports such as this, which can in fact lead to the conclusion that the Khajiit have indeed Elvish ancestry, which is backed up even more by the fact that a couple of Khajiit
That's one of my main literal problems with the Elder Scrolls universe is the fact that everything relates to the elves. Everything came from the elven. Everything came from the elves. The Bosmer, the humans, the frickin' everything is elves, and it pisses me off.
Khajiit breeds are very similar in shape to elves and men, and with the fact that Khajiit can more easily interbreed with mer than man, it would lead to the conclusion that the Khajiit may be stemmed from the elves. And that's basically all that we know about the Khajiiti creation myths. Now, before I end this video, I want to thank Mr. Nerddragon for helping me with this video. He knows a lot more about these kind of subjects than I do, so he basically did all the research for me. So that's very helpful, and I want to give him a lot of thanks. And also thanks for his help with the pronunciation, and especially with the parts that he recorded for this video, since I absolutely couldn't pronounce them. I also wish to give a mandatory mention to Mr. Martin from the Discord, because he blackmailed me into doing this. And with that said, if you like this video, then, well, like, subscribe. If you want to see more Elder Scrolls lore content, you can always just check out my channel. If you want to support me in a more personal way, there is of course my Patreon. You get your name at the end of every video like you see here. And I'm very sorry if it's not currently up to date, because I'm still using the older list, although for the patrons next video it will be up to date.
Yeah.
That's it. I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.
Alright, guys, if that's kind of content, do like, comment, subscribe. I'm probably just gonna honestly be reacting to Elder Scrolls stuff every so often, because generally I'm very curious in it. And maybe someone else that has a better understanding of it can share it with me. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm probably gonna react to something Transformers now, so I'll see you guys later. Bye, take care.